First Rock Private Equity has acquired medical and dental supplies distributor Optimum Trading Limited. Now, this is their third acquisition since Dolla Financial Services in 2020, and we want to learn more. So joining me now is co-founder and managing director of First Rock Private Equity Limited, Christopher Yeung. Hi, Chris. How are you doing?
Yes, hi, Kalila. How are you doing? Thanks for having me.
This is my first time interviewing you. I can't believe that. That's just wrong.
I know, right? We should have done this sooner.
Well, welcome to the platform. Tell me a little bit about yourself before we get into the big moves that you guys have been making.
Sure. First of all, thanks again for having me on the show. I'm a big supporter of what you're doing. My name is Chris Yeung, and I'm the co-founder and managing director for First Rock Private Equity. We're a private equity firm incorporated in Barbados, but based in Jamaica, that provides smart capital to small and medium-sized enterprises in the Caribbean and Latin American region.
Tell me a bit about your interests. What are you passionate about?
Yeah, thanks for that question. So I'm very passionate about mentorship. Currently, I'm a nation builder or mentor for the Honeybone Foundation. I'm a big believer in giving back and paying it forward. I'm also a mentor for the Junior Jamaica Stock Exchange. That was recent in January of this year. And I'm also recently, I started mentoring Campion students in sixth form. Campion is my alma mater. So I'm very passionate about mentoring and giving back. I believe that, it's critical, not only in the SME space, but for young, budding entrepreneurs to learn about business, how to start a business, how to improve a business. I don't believe this is a class that's widespread across Jamaica. So I'm very passionate about helping, young entrepreneurs that want to enter into business.
Love that. Love the Honeybone Foundation as well. So tell us a bit about your professional journey.
I have a little bit over, almost approaching 14 years of experience in finance and banking. I started my career out at Honeybone. I actually said this in an interview earlier this month, but I actually started out as a file clerk at Honeybone in about 2009. And then I worked my way up. My passion has always been finance and banking. So I would have spent some time at Honeybone and then pursued my master's in finance at UWI. And then I would have spent about 7 years working at Proven Management. And I spent about 2 years at NCB Financial Group. I then would have quit my job during COVID to further pursue my passion, which has always been, having my own firm, co-founding my own private equity firm, and pursuing my passion of providing capital to SMEs. So in 2021, I would have quit my job. In 2020, in December, quit my job at Proven, and I co-founded First Rock Private Equity with Michael Banbury and Ryan Reed. And the rest is sort of history.
All right. So don't make the young age fool you. Chris, you have some experience under your belt. Yeah. You just look young, but you've been around the block. Yeah.
And the last name is Yeung too. So.
Well, there you go. Forever young. All right. So First Rock has been doing quite a bit since you guys founded the company in 2020. I believe this is your third acquisition now. So before we talk about the new one, talk to us about how your other acquisitions have been performing.
Good question. And I've been you've been seeing more of me now. I've just been, doing more interviews and just updating the public of what First Rock Private Equity is doing. So our first acquisition was Dolla Financial Services, which I think everyone is sort of familiar with now. We're very happy with the performance for Dolla Financial Services. I believe our numbers were just released, I think, a couple of days ago. And I think we hit a little bit shy of, $2 million US in profit before tax. So we're very happy with where we are with Dolla Financial Services. We currently still maintain a stake of 60%. So we're very happy with that acquisition and where that's going. I believe Dolla still has room to grow. We haven't fully exploited our potential in Ghana. And also we haven't started to expand in different jurisdictions. I know the plan was to expand into the Bahamas and some other neighboring countries, and we haven't yet done that yet. So, there's still room to scale and room to expand for Dolla. The next acquisition we did was My Ocean in the Bahamas, and we bought that company in February 2022. So we're about a year in. We're very happy with the progress for that company as well. My Ocean is a souvenir company that's based in the Bahamas. We currently have about 6 to 7 locations in the Bahamas at some very high-end locations. We have locations at Bahamar, at the airports, the Marina Village in Atlantis. So we're very happy with that acquisition as well. As you know, it takes time, before you can list a company or exit. So we're going through some of the turnaround stuff that we have to do right now. Tourism last year in the Bahamas was around 7 million, coming from the year before, which was negligible during COVID. This year, we're on target to hit double digits in tourism. So we're very happy of the trajectory for this year. And we're really excited about MyOcean. We own 26.2%, and I know the owners have bought in on the vision. So the plan is really to, ramp up the business in 2023, and then possibly look, for a listing in 2024.
Nice. And that listing would be here in Jamaica?
Yes, we're exploring all opportunities. Yes, the listing would be on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Okay, so you are in real estate, we know that much. You are in finance through Dolla, you're in tourism through MyOcean, and now you're entering healthcare, the medical space, through another acquisition, this time Optimum Trading. Tell us about that.
Yes, the reason why and I've been asked this question before, why healthcare, why the medical sector, why dental? The reason is, in private equity, you want to diversify the risk, right? So we're seeing the looming recession, or talks of a looming recession have been going on for 6 months. I think the Fed just raised rates by about 25 basis points, within the last hour. So we're watching everything, and we really liked this sector. This is a resilient sector, the healthcare sector. So we've been targeting this acquisition for some time now, and it just further diversifies our portfolio and strengthens our portfolio. Optimum, has a niche market here. They control about, I would say a little bit over 50% of the dental market, and they're a very resilient business. Even through COVID, revenues, remain fairly stagnant. We didn't see a big decline, so we're happy about this business, and we're very excited. And the plan for this business is to list about 12 to 14 months. Overall, Khalila, our portfolio, all of our companies are profitable, with Dolla leading the way. Dolla did around $2 million US, for last year. MyOcean should do around $1 million US for this year. And then Optimum, I know we just acquired it, not even 2 months yet, but the plan is to ramp up profitability. It's profitable right now. I won't reveal the figures, but the plan is to grow the profits, grow revenue, push sales for this year, and ultimately we plan to have 2 listings next year.
So Chris, is this a strategy for all your acquisitions? Because Dolla listed already. You said you want to list Optimum, and you also want to list MyOcean. So when First Rock acquires a company, is this the plan for all of them?
The strategy for First Rock PE is to buy into these companies for about 3 to 5 years, and then build these companies up and ultimately list them on the stock exchange. In some instances, listing may take longer than usual, but ultimately we love to list them, on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. We could look at other options as well. As you know, we can, sell privately, or sell back to the founding shareholders. So there's many different options. Our preferred option, though, is to list on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. The reason why is that we can get better pricing on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, and I'm a big believer in the Jamaica Stock Exchange and inclusion for all, for the markets here.
So how do you go about deciding which companies that you choose to invest in?
Yeah, good question. So it's a very simple approach that we take. We look at companies, one, that we can understand. We typically don't invest in companies we don't understand. So if you're doing something, that I can't understand, that's not simple enough, then, we'll rule that company out. Secondly, we would look at the management team and the integrity of the management team and the proven track record that they have, if they have a track record that's even proven. So those are the 2 things. Thirdly, we would look at if the company has a moat, which is a durable competitive advantage. If they have a strong barrier to entry, typically we want to buy into companies that have a competitive advantage, and that's a next company tomorrow just can't use cash to penetrate and to compete and to take up market share for that company. So those are typically the 3 things we look at. And the 4th, probably the most important one, is pricing. We typically buy at a price that makes sense. So I've had a lot of entrepreneurs pitch to me before, a lot of startups, a lot of different companies, and their pricing is just, we just don't understand their pricing. So the pricing has to make sense in terms of a multiple, comparable standpoint to where the Jamaica Stock Exchange or where the markets are trading.
That valuation, yes, very important. I watch Shark Tank, so I have a little idea. But tell us more about Optimum Trading now. You kind of mentioned a little bit about what they do. They're in the medical and mostly dental space, is it?
Yes. So Optimum Trading is the newest addition to our portfolio. The company was founded by Sheldon Powell, and the current CEO is Mr. Jason Clark. That company focuses heavily on dental right now. I would say their portfolio is, like I said earlier, I think they have market share in the dental supply space about 50%, and they're slowly chipping away on the medical side of supplies. One of their leading products is anesthesia for the dental and medical markets. So that's one of their leading products. They have about 400 customers over the island, and we're just ramping up things right now.
So supplying, they don't actually provide the service.
No, so they supply dental and medical equipment. So gloves, gowns, anything that the dentist, the tools that the dentist need, as well as the medical space.
That is a very profitable space, as we've seen with other companies listed on the stock exchange. So way to go in finding Optimum Trading as your next acquisition. What else do you have in the pipeline? What can you tell us?
We did our third acquisition this year on February 10th, which was Optimum. The plan is to do at least one more acquisition for this year. Typically, we do between 1 and 2 a year. We are looking at some acquisitions in the QSR space, quick serve restaurant. However, I can't reveal any names or any details just yet. As you would know, Khalil, to get a deal done is difficult, and it takes some time. And sometimes things don't work out the way we want to, especially with what's happening now. In this environment with rising rates, etc.
So you really are looking at diversifying. So no restaurant industry, service industry, medical, real estate, but you're well diversified.
Yeah, and to be honest, for other entrepreneurs and for other investors out there, the only way you can't eliminate risk. The only way to mitigate risk is diversification. So we learned that very early. It was a teaching lesson for us in COVID, as you see with Dolla. So Dolla continues to diversify its portfolio as well. And that's the only true way to mitigate risk.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. I love to hear the progress and the updates, and I look forward to the next listings. Make sure you invite us, and we'll talk again.
Yeah, sure.
Good stuff. So guys, follow First Rock on Instagram at First Rock PE on LinkedIn, First Rock Private Equity, and you can also give them a call at 876-925-ROCK. Visit my website, KhalilaReynolds.com, for a summary of this video, and make sure you subscribe to the newsletter so you get everything in your inbox as soon as it drops. Let's get this money.